Hello everyone, welcome to this quick and simple tutorial on how to do spinal waves. So often this is something we see on Instagram. It's made to look incredibly easy and effortless, but it actually takes a lot of work engaging through core and understanding the connection between front and back body. So we're going to break it down. We'll start with some spinal waves moving from our child's pose to our tabletop just to understand how to articulate through each part of the spine, and then we'll take it up a level coming from downward dog to plank, and then see if we can start to isolate the movement to the spine only with legs staying exactly where they are, which is very difficult, but hopefully I can get you there. So to begin with, come into your child's pose, lengthening sit bones towards the heels, long through the spine, and your palms flat to the mat. Okay. We'll round up and through. We'll just take some cat-cows to start. Articulating through the spine, squeezing shoulder blades as you arch, pulling them apart as you round, and just moving with the breath as we do this. Finding the connection. Nice, one more like that. And exhale, round through. Lovely. You're going to make your way back to that child's pose. And that same cat-cow movement comes into practice here as we pull forward to our tabletop position and then back into our child's pose. So we round as we pull through. So coming through in our cat, essentially. And then as the shoulders start to come over the wrists, we release back to a neutral spine. Shift the weight forward slightly and begin to arch the lower back. Look up with the head. So we're opening the chest, squeezing shoulder blades together, and then peel back as you find length again through the spine, and just notice the head comes down last, forehead to mat. So head is always the last thing to tuck in and to lift up. So we round through, chin is to the chest. Nice, we gently unravel through lower, mid, top of the spine, neutral. So now, crown of the head is in line with the spine. And then we begin to arch, look up. Stretch through the front of the neck. And then peel back. Head starts to come down. And then we release, forehead down. So as you start to pick up a little bit of pace, it begins to look a little bit like a wave as you move more fluidly. Continue connecting with the breath to facilitate the movement, and just don't forget about the head. That's really what starts to give the illusion of a wave. Exhale down. Nice. And the more you practice this, the easier it will start to feel. Really great for waking the spine up in the morning. Okay, take a little break. So if that's feeling great, you've got a hang of the movement, you know where you need to be kind of engaging and releasing, we'll make our way into the second option where rather than coming from child's pose to tabletop, you're moving from your downward dog, pulling through into plank. So we're just going to start by rocking back and forth between these two positions. So we just get comfortable with stacking the joints, lengthening the spine, and engaging through the core, through the back and front body. Nice, couple more. Inhale to pull forward. Exhale to send the hips up, and we're finding that slight anterior tilt. So by that, I mean, let's imagine I have a block between my thigh and my belly. So I'm trying to trap that block there. So reducing the distance between them. That's going to spiral my sit bones up towards the sky, which is what we're looking for. So rather than tucking the pelvis, I'm coming into an anterior tilt. So I'm opening it up. Nice. So this is where we want to be. Now we're going to switch the direction of the pelvis. So we're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet and round. So we're tucking the pelvis here. Nice. So finding that C curve, if any of you do Pilates, in the lower abdominals, the pelvic floor. Nice, and then we start to unravel through the back, same as we did earlier, as you pull through into your plank position. I'm just going to shuffle my wrists a little bit further forward. From here, bend the knees. So you're finding a float. They're a couple of centimeters off the mat. And then you begin to arch the spine here. So that cow position, squeezing shoulder blades together, and then peeling up. So the sit bones lead here. Send your bum up, and then unravel through the back. Head comes down last. Nice, so lift up onto the heels. Tuck of the pelvis, and then send that unraveling of the spine to the top. You find your plank, the head comes in line with the spine. You find your float, and then anterior tilt, head is up, and head comes down last. Nice, so as we speed that up, again, it begins to look like a little bit of a wave. And it takes time, it takes practice, it takes a lot of looking in the mirror, seeing how to adjust to make it look more fluid, more wave-like. Nice, exhale, and stretch it out. So essentially, all it is combining the movement of plank to downward dog to plank to downward dog with cat-cow. So you're just getting used to that articulation through the spine first before you take it to that strengthening level with downward dog and plank. All right, so once you feel good moving from your downward dog to your plank and incorporating that cat-cow movement of the spine, we'll then take it up a level. We're gonna isolate from the sacrum to crown of the head, little bit of movement through the shoulders, very minimal movement through the legs, so that it then looks like a really fluid wave, and we get that effortless kind of feel to it that you will have seen undoubtedly on Instagram, making it look like no muscles are involved. But actually, this is a full body workout, which is why it's such a great movement. It unlocks your spine, but it also works your thighs, your hip flexors, your core, your glutes, your ankles, your shoulders, your wrists, and then lots of mind-body connection going on there, so waking up the brain as well. So huge benefits. Let's get started. Coming into your downward dog, just find a comfortable distance. Nice and open, spiraling sit bones towards the sky. So we're just going to raise the heels to kind of kickstart the movement. Just come in and out. And on the next one, you're going to carry that wave through. So the heels come up and you're going to find that tuck of the pelvis. So rounding, finding that C curve. You then unravel. So we're only bringing the weight forward slightly. We're then starting to look up as we find our pelvic tilt, as we send the heels back down. So we're finding that arch through the back, lengthening, and then we unravel back to a neutral spine, head comes down last. So if you put a little bit of momentum and speed into this, it begins to look like a wave. So the more you lift the heels, the more you kind of exaggerate it. So we lift, whoop, and release. Lift, and release. And notice how much of a role the head plays. So that's at the end of your roll and then arch. So it kind of finishes off that S-like movement. So really make sure you're incorporating the neck and that it's not stopping at the shoulders. And there you have it. I hope this helps. It takes patience. It's very frustrating at first, especially when you're looking at all these videos of it looking completely effortless. It's not, it's a full body workout, so just keep that in mind. And take what benefits you can from it. In the end, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it's just a fun challenge to make it a little bit more fluid so that you look like an ocean wave. But it's all about the feeling, as all things in yoga. So first and foremost, have fun with it, and good luck with your spinal waves.